Well, usually you're in the dugout, but now you're out of the dugout and on the touchline. Look at that pitch behind you; it's magnificent.
Oh, mate, Jim and his staff have done a fantastic job on that. It's looking lush, and I think it'll be on fire on the weekend.
And how much are you looking forward to getting back here and seeing the crowd back here?
Oh, it'll be great. I know the players are looking forward to it. Should be a good, decent crowd because after our, the double headers, Bradford and Sheffield after us, and Hunslet not too far away from us, and we had a real good game against them in the summer bash, and I just thought we were a little bit fortunate there not to get the spoils.
What will it do for the players in terms of confidence coming back to this pitch?
Oh, the players love playing here. That's the thing. They're looking forward to it. I think this last few months we've been focusing too much on the win, and I don't think we need to worry about the win. If you play good enough, the win will come. So they just need to be back to some familiar surroundings and go out there and give it their all, and just play to the best of their ability, and then hopefully they'll get what they deserve.
That first win is elusive. Tried in vain against Batley. What were your take on that game?
Again, very, very competitive for long periods of time, but again I allude to the fact that we all keep harping on about this first win, and I think it's a mentality thing now, and when the players realise, we can't, maybe they get a couple of tries, think we can't win this, and then everyone's dropping the shoulders, and the supporters and everything are just thinking, well, here we go again, we're not going to win again, and we're putting a massive amount of emphasis on this win, and I think we need to focus on just doing the little things right in the games and hanging in there and keep battling and keep going. People think I'm crazy, but I still haven't given up hope, and I won't give up hope and give up the fight until it's mathematically impossible that we can't stay up. You've got us. If you don't stay positive and you don't battle and battle and battle, we might as well walk out the door now, because you're in the sporting industry, and it's you can't give up. You don't give up until you physically or mathematically can't stay in this league. So we've got to keep fighting, keep battling, and worse things have happened, but I'm a believer, and if I didn't believe we could still do it, and it starts from me, then I might as well leave. I might as well walk out the door, and we all might as well go. But we've got to keep believing, and who knows? Everyone at the moment, we're favourites to go down, but we're not down yet.
Lee Waterman, who's come back after a little stint at York City Knights, he still thinks the Dons can stay up. Is it a call for more of that mentality? And he's kind of come back into the fold, hasn't he? Fresh pair of eyes.
Oh, listen, I think if you speak to most of the players, they'd think the same. But it's just that we're trying everything, and then I just think the emphasis we're all putting on everyone to get this first win. You've just got to go out and play well, and you'll get what you deserve. I said from day one, you'll finish in the league where you deserve to finish in the league. You get what you deserve in this game. You only get out of it what you put in. So at the moment where we are is because we deserve to be there.
Is there a kind of emphasis from the other teams, though, that they don't want to be the first team to lose to Doncaster this season? Do you think that could play a factor in it?
Most weeks, if you look on the reports you get in the pre-game reports, most coaches are saying that. Doncaster's not a bad side, but we don't want to be the first team to lose against them. So yes, the answer's yes. But we've got to just keep battling on, and we'll do that. And we've got a couple of new faces in the team this week. We've got Big Matt Grote back, so we've got a decent side going out there on the weekend, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the boys get what they deserve, because they're working hard and they keep going. But we just need everyone to stick together, and I'll probably saying the same things every week, but the coach is saying the same thing every week to the team. The captains are saying the same thing every week to the players. So it's it's a difficult one, but like we had the fans meeting on Monday, and hey, I'm the first one to say I've made mistakes, and we hold our hands up to that. But if we don't learn from these mistakes, that's when there's a problem. But we may have underestimated the league, which we put a statement out saying that, and who knows? But we certainly didn't think we'd go through this season in the shape we have done. We were quietly confident, but we had some goals in house. But for me, if you put your hands up and you learn from the lessons and make sure we don't make the same mistakes again. One thing I will know is we won't get left behind like we probably did last year. And if there's decisions to be made, then I maybe need to make them a little bit more quicker and be a bit smarter about things. But we'll, these tough times, they make the good times even better. And don't get me wrong, it's been very, very challenging and mentally tough. And I've asked a lot of questions of myself, and I've come to the conclusion that hey, I've made probably some big mistakes, but I'm prepared to learn from them and make this club get back to where it needs to be, and work a lot harder and bring the right personnel to the club, who's got that winning mentality, and we'll certainly be doing that, and we're doing a lot of work behind the scenes now regarding what other clubs are doing in Championship and Championship 1, and trying to find out the sort of budgets they're spending, and I'll report that back to Gavin and the board, and then we'll put a budget together which we think will make us be very, very competitive next year, regardless of what league we're in. If we're in Championship, we'll be very, very competitive. And if we're in Championship 1, we'll be very, very, very competitive.
Have you been caught on the hop, do you reckon, the Dons, by the way that Leigh, Bradford and some of the other teams, the Featherstones and Halifax of this world, have gone about it this season?
I'm not sure. We were never going to go full time this year.
Yeah.
We had plans in place, but if you look back, let's have a look at it. If you look back and you look at the game against London on round 1, if we were to go to London and get them like we nearly did, would the season have been dramatically different, because the players would have had that confidence? Well, we've just gone to a Super League club who's come down and we beat them. We got Featherstone at home on round 2, very, very unlucky not to win that. So you win them 2 games, and all of a sudden the whole mentality of the club changes again, and it was inches. We were so close, and then it's just snowballed, and then it's got to the stage where when are we going to get this win, and it, very anxiety and anxious, and you've seen a little bit with Batley on the weekend. They've lost 16 games, and they were as nervous as us in that first 15 minutes, but when they got 2 or 3 tries on the board, you actually seen them start to relax and play some good rugby league. So, that happens, and they could probably kick on from there now, because I tell you, they've got a team they've got some attack in them, that's for sure, and they were very physical. So, that could plateau them to go on and make them safe. If we can come up and get a decent victory on the weekend, who's to say that won't kick us on? Because if you look at the big boys we've played, we've given them a game. So who knows?
That's almost the problem, isn't it? You've given the big boys a good game and a good run for the money. Bradford down here, and a few of the other teams, Featherstone and Sheffield as well. And then against the smaller so-called clubs, shall we say, who are fighting down the bottom end with you, it's perhaps not been as even a contest as you expect.
Well, I think you know what you're going to get against the big boys, and probably if you look and digest it, it's probably the same situation we were in last year with not the big 4 clubs. You're not sure what players are going to get on dual reg, and like last season, they've got some. These clubs have been playing, have had some real decent players in their ranks, but they don't get them every week. But they seem to stack the team up with them when they're playing against Donny, so we end up copying the brunt against them. But and that's not being disrespectful to our Dual Ridge club, because Lee Radford has tried hard for us, but they haven't got the quality of player that they gave us last season, and not due to not giving them to us. It's just down to the fact that they've had a lot of injuries in their first team, and your Abduls and these sort of Logans and them, who probably would have been with us, as they're in the first team or in the periphery of the first team. So that's rugby, and I know for a fact if Lee could help us and give us some of the guns, well, he would. We after we played Bradford, you all seen what Jordan Abdul done, and Lee said to me he'll probably be with you for the rest of the season. Next week, Westerman gets rib injury or something, and Abdul's been in the first team and never looked back. And I don't knock that. I'm all for that, and good luck to the kid. No one more prouder than me to see a player come to Donny and then go and perform and play Super League. And if we've contributed, that helps, and then that makes the others know that if they come to Donny and perform, they'll play Super League. So, Lee's been great, and his first one on the text, within minutes after the game, and how can we help you? And so for people who think Hull's not giving us the quality, it's that they've had some misfortune of their own.
Finally, from me, you talked about Matt Grote, who'll be returning from suspension this weekend. Arguably, his best game in a Don shirt came in the Summer Bash at Hunslet, where the Dons pushed him most of the way, but not quite all of the way.
Oh, listen, I feel a bit sorry for Matt at the moment, because his mother and his grandfather and another family member have been in the country for 3 weeks, and I think they arrived a few days after he'd picked his ban up. So they've spent a lot of money to come over and watch the boy, and they're only going to get to see him play one game. So and that'll be on the weekend. So I know for a fact that Matty will be wanting to put a show on and put a good performance in front of his mum and his grandfather. So a bit tough one for him with them, them coming over to watch him and him picking up a suspension. So hopefully, he fires into them and he has a good game. He's looking forward to it, and I know he's trained really hard while he's been off.